Out of all of the fictional universes out there, all the media properties, fantasy stories, sci-fi tales, space operas, futuristic dystopias, there's probably no fictional place ever created that would be as awful and terrible to exist in as just a regular person than Warhammer 40k. Hi, I'm Gino the Bending Acolyte, and I've been playing a lot of Darktide. Darktide, for all of its many failings, is a really fun, really atmospheric first-person shooter game made by Fat Shark, who previously made Warhammer Vermintide. The similar names are intentional. It's essentially the same video game in different clothes. I really love these games and how immersive and impressive they are in a world-building sense, that it's been hard not to be inspired by Darktide. Playing with friends, we've built up our own unique characters, and because of the insane amount of voice acting in the game, we've really developed a cool in-game fan lore about our group and the missions we go on and the party dynamics, which is something I love doing in video games. So for a while, I've wanted to make a little diorama of our beleaguered strike squad, up against the odds in the galaxy's shittiest city of Tertium. When I was conceptualizing this diorama project, I envisioned it as a set of kit-bashed models representing our strike squad moving through the bombed-out, rusted-out, corroded, just awful city streets of Tertium. XPS foam would serve as the perfect base material for this project, but I didn't just want it to be flat and boring and normal. I wanted the strike squad to have their backs up against the wall, to have a real backdrop for them to be up against. I'd never done anything like that before, so I figured it'd be a pretty fun challenge to try it. I set to cutting the foam with my hot wire tool. I tried to use a ruler and mark out lines and, use my table as best as I could to make nice, even, straight cuts. But without a table saw hot wire cutter thingy, it wasn't easy. The cuts are good enough as is, and one day I'll get that table cutter. But for now, it's fine. The diorama would be sitting inside the back of a cheap wooden painting easel picture frame thingy I got to give it a nice base. I had a plan for how I was going to add some background elements and some texture to the foam to give it a bit more of a 3D element, but I also wanted to add some various bits and pieces to make it even more 3D and kind of have a lot more depth. The Battlezone Manufactorum Munitorum Armored Containers kit set, bit of a mouthful, was a real treasure trove when it comes to bits and pieces to use for this diorama project. These grimdark shipping containers are perfect to hack apart and turn into walkways and wall pieces, and I wasn't gentle with them, or anything in this diorama really, to give it that kind of worn out, broken down quality. I laid out some pieces to get a bit of a visual and figure out where everything would sit before I moved on to the fun stuff. Air dry clay. I had never used this stuff before, but I really, really wanted to try it out. It seemed like a super handy tool for diorama projects, and I wanted to give it a bit of a test run. With a texture roller embossed with some generic industrial factory stuff, I thought rolling texture with it to be the floor and wall was a good trial. And let me tell you, this stuff is really, really neat. It takes texture and working extremely well, it's got a nice long working time to get it set, and it dries hard as a rock. Affixed to the foam with some spread out carpenter's glue, it is rock solid sturdy and secure and looks awesome. Plus, you can just press in the bits and pieces that you want into it. Once it's dry, they stay secure. I still super glued a lot of them on, but I honestly probably didn't need to. I hacked up the foam and still drying clay to give it some wear and tear and get some wires poking out. Tertium is not a safe place to live, especially for regular Joes like me and you. I'm really excited about this material, and I'm already thinking of lots of different things to use it on. I got some circle cutters to use it on bases, and I think that's really going to level up my basing game. I also used some other pieces from the terrain kit to make something of a bit of an ammo box that you'd find in-game. well as this cool little rusted out barrel. Barrels are always cool. When everything was good and set, I secured the two pieces together by sticking a bunch of toothpicks into the foam with glue, lining the pieces up, and kind of skewering to get them together with glue in between. I overdid it just a little, probably, because I was anxious about the wall piece falling over, because of its uneven weight. But it ended up working fine, so better safe than sorry. Before I put everything together, though, I sealed everything with some Mod Podge mixed with black craft paint, because I am nothing if not standing on the shoulders of giants like Black Magic Craft. Then I did some texturing. Using a bunch of additives, some glue, metallic craft paint, and acrylic latex caulking, I made a nice grainy slurry that I stippled and painted all over the place. Right now it kind of looks like weird cake frosting, but when it's all dry and painted up, it'll look like really nice, easy, convincing rust. With it all sealed up and glued together, I gave it an all-over prime with a black spray can just to make sure everything was nice and covered. With the diorama built, the next step is painting. Tune in next time and we'll discuss how I built and paint the models that I used for the diorama, as well as painted the diorama itself. This was a super fun project and I'm really excited to show you all the end result. Building this piece was a fun and new challenge, and I always really like learning how to use new tools, new resources, new supplies in my miniature painting and crafting game. It's really fun to add new pieces to an ever-expanding library of techniques and tools that you can use when it comes to this hobby. It's fun to get creative and do test runs and try things out, and even when you fail, it's still fun to gain that knowledge and learn what to do and what not to do when it comes to these various different substances you can use for this hobby. That's it for today, folks. I hope you liked this video, and I hope you're looking forward to seeing the whole diorama project painted up and displayed. Make sure to subscribe to catch that follow-up video. I'm Gino the Painting Acolyte, and I'll see you next time. Take care, and bye-bye.